Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Can you guys hear me okay? As you can hear, I'm still working through some laryngitis. I wasn't able to come live last week due to no voice. I am feeling 100%. However, my vocal cords are still here, are healing. Lots of healing energy going on here from my vocal cords. You can send some my way, but I feel 100% fine. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. If somebody can just let me know that I'm coming through all right sound wise, other than a bit of a raspy, maybe sexy voice, depending on what you think of voices. Let's jump into the energy update. I am going to grab, I can hear you good. Thank you so much, Jazz. I appreciate that. Hopefully I don't cough to clear my throat a little bit, but I'll do my very, very best to get through it without any kind of coughing. And I really want to say thank you for your patience. You guys are incredible. Like there was only well wishes when I posted I wasn't going to be here last week. So I thank you for that. I'm so grateful for all of you. Um, all right, let's jump into the energy for this coming week. It has a bit of a different, well, yeah, it had a bit of a different feel. Big push for out of the comfort zone we go this week. Rigid thinking, pushing through old blocks. There's a lot of energy moving through to push us out of our comfort zone. That can be small things. So don't go, oh my gosh, I'm not ready. It can be the little things. Little things matter, moments matter. So taking a new route to work or trying to tackle something from a different perspective. Spirit is always trying to teach us. Always, your spirit guides, your loved ones, your animals that have crossed over, they're always trying to teach us. And in order for us to move forward, sometimes it's out of the comfort zone we go. So I always ask myself, what am I learning here? What is the point? Like what is the shift that I'm being asked to make? And it can be something as simple as looking at something differently, being able to shift out of an old way of thinking. We're here to grow and we're here to learn. And sometimes we get very caught up in wash, rinse, repeat, and wash, rinse, repeat. And yes, there's times where that really serves us, but there's also times that in order for us to move forward or to learn something new, we have to step out of that comfort zone. Sometimes it's a leap of faith. Sometimes it's about getting to a new perspective or our own spiritual growth or journey. And I think for a lot of us, we struggle with the unknown, very, very normal, common human perspective. But out of the comfort zone we go this week. And if we can go with a little bit less kicking and screaming, because sometimes we go kicking and screaming, if you can start with just the small things, it also gives momentum to new things coming in. When we can kind of say, you know what? I'm gonna try and be a little bit more open this week. Perhaps I'm just gonna try and try something new, a new meditation or a new book to read, or even wearing a new color. Right? It doesn't have to be great big things, but in order for our growth, our spiritual growth, to kind of gain some momentum. So for those of you who may feel blocked or stuck, you're truly not blocked or stuck. You guys know how I feel about that. You're just kind of in the space of wash, rinse, repeat, and just opening up a little bit more. And there's no, like, even for myself, there's room for me to always be growing or looking at something differently or being able to try something in a different way or looking at something through a different lens. It doesn't all have to resonate. Take what does and leave the rest. But in order for ourselves to be able to grow or to connect differently, we've got to kind of have this space out of the comfort zone that we can poke our head out and say, you know what, I think I'm going to try something different this week. Or taking a look at what's not working. If something's not working for you, take a look at that, and just kind of like change a little bit of the perspective or putting something down. I'm going to put down this old way of doing something. I'm going to try and bring that a newer energy in. In order for new to come in, we've got to be open to receive it And sometimes, especially this week, it's going to be out of the comfort zone we go. So if things pop up for you this week where it's kind of giving you a little bit of that, it's out of my comfort zone. Taste it a little bit, little bits, all add up to big change and big shifts. So, push yourself through. Try something new. We don't have to be in this society cookie cutter way of being. It's your journey, your experiences, your learning. So enjoy it a little bit at a time. Sorry. Um, Things may come up so how do you know you're being pushed out of your comfort zone? So things may come up this week that bring you a little bit of that spiritual heartburn, a little bit of that discomfort. Ask yourself, just pause and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I look at it differently? And maybe I need to get out of my comfort zone. Lean in there a little bit this week. It's and look at it through some fun. Change can be fun. New ways of taking things in can be fun. It doesn't have to always be the same or the same as everybody else. Sometimes we go against the grid because it's our journey. And I think we get so caught up, especially, because we're programmed so much. We can get so caught up in other people's stuff or the way things are going, on social media. Lean into your own vibration, your own thoughts, your own way of being. This is your journey. Own it. Own it. And out of the comfort zone we go. Oh, all right. I also want to say, watch for little things that keep coming up. And that's one thing that I kind of keep my awareness in is I will say, okay, why does this keep coming up? Whether it be the same situation or the same wording, like why is this messages from your spirit guides can come in many different ways. And it can be from the same thing coming up. So if the same thing keeps coming up for you, take a moment and say, okay, how can I learn through this out of my comfort zone? How can I just do this a little bit different? All right, you guys. Let's get moving on to some questions here. So while my voice is still activated. All right, so quite a few of you here joining me this morning. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys, for the little bit of a cough here. Jazz. Are my spirit guides celebrating me right now because it's my last week at my job? There you go. Well done, you. And do I have a new spirit guide? I think I've seen him. So, Jazz, number one, always trust what you feel. If you feel or if you've seen a new spirit guide, trust that. Welcome him in. Welcome. Have a seat with me. I'm happy to have you with me, spirit guide. Tap into how it feels to you. Your energy connects to their energy. Trust that. Does your spirit are they sorry, are my spirit guides celebrating me right now, Jazz? Our spirit guides are always celebrating us. They're always supporting us, holding our hands, even when we trip and fall. They only hold that loving vibration for us. They know we're learning. They know it can be difficult here in the physical world, but they're always cheering and celebrating. I also feel, Jazz, with this new adventure that you're on, it just feels a lot lighter. So I don't know if you're doing something more to honor yourself or to shift into something that you always wanted to do, but it has a lighter feeling to it. Um, let's see here, where do we go? What do my spirit guides say about if I'm a clairvoyant or clairaudient psychic medium? So, Jazz, this is for all of you. You all are. Every single one of you has your own very unique way of seeing, hearing, feeling, tapping into the spirit dimensions. It's not reserved to just a few. It's every single one of us. Do we all now I have this conversation with my mentoring students all the time. Do you have your own unique way of connecting and growing? Absolutely. No two people connect the same. Similar, perhaps, but your relationship with the spirit dimensions and your connection to the spirit dimensions is your very own. It's very unique, and it develops, in your own way. And there's no, it's your way. So figuring out how you work and it changes. How I connect today is very different than how I connected last year or 10 years ago. I always stay in that growth mindset. Teach me, show me. I want more, and I trust the process. The big T word, trust is the biggest part of all this. Being able to trust your own connection. Every single one of you has it. Every single one of you, has worked at some point with spirit and have felt it. Think about your own intuition. Sometimes our spirit guides will give us a message through there. We learn to trust it. How many of you have had like, something come to you, whether it be in a dream time or whether you're awake or a sense of knowing or you've heard something? We all have our spiritual senses. Some of us develop them in a very different way. Right. So, for myself, I don't always see anymore. I used to see like all the time. And I've developed into different ways of working with spirit when I was ready and when they pushed me. So do I see sometimes? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's not like it used to be. I used to have a movie playing all the time. Now I see it very differently. I see it more inner than actually physical. And it just changes as we grow. Okay, here we go. You're coming through just fine. Thank you, Wes. Shy says hi. She's too busy to make it. Hi, Shy. Song Wolf. Does Spirit have any messages for me, please? I just got wrapped in this beautiful blanket of light and love, Song Wolf. They're holding you in such a loving way, and I feel like some of that love needs to come from you as well. They're asking you to blend your own energy in with theirs a little bit more. It brings them in closer, and it's also very much a snuggle energy to be able to snuggle in there. Oh, it's kind of cute. It feels really good, but I feel like always bringing this blanket of love and light with you. I know this is gonna sound really weird, but I just seen like Linus from Peanuts with his little blanket tucked under his arm. They're always tucked with you. And I think that if you can this is really cool. If you can use something that can symbolize that, that they're with you, whether it be a scarf or a necklace or even a Kleenex in your pocket, that they're always with you, where you can kind of reach in or just kind of like pick up. They're just asking you to just kind of feel them very, very close, and it's for your own growth. Oh, there's Fran, Lana Banana Bobana. Thanks, Fran. Now that song's in my head for the day. Um, Bianca, morning. Any messages on my current spirit, who my current spirit guides are? Bianca, I don't feel that there's been a shift as far as a new guide coming or anybody leaving. I don't feel that. What I do feel is I feel like your communication with them is much clearer. I feel like you need to be reminded that you are feeling them and you are hearing them and you are leaning in there. I can see that leaning in there. You are leaning in there, in such a beautiful way. And yeah, I feel like I need to acknowledge your trust. Something has shifted with your trust. I just feel like there's been like a little bit of it just felt like you guys remember that gum that had like a flavor in it when you bit into it, kind of exploded in your mouth? I that's they're weird. They're working weird with me today. That's how it felt. I feel like your connection with them has kind of like exploded and it tastes really good. I just feel like there's that stronger connection and that trust. All you have to do is acknowledge that. Diane, do my spirit guides have any messages for me, Lana? Thank you. Diane, I'm really curious about getting messages in clouds. I feel like I'm seeing more shapes in clouds. I just kind of got like this cloud go by. I feel like it's, and I also feel as a message with chin up, like looking up. Um, and I feel like it may even tap into Diane. I'm just curious if you've been hard on yourself because the chin up reference is really loud, like being kind to yourself, gentle on yourself, chin up, right? Like kind of looking up, get that head up, eyes up, and being able to see the beauty within our physical world as well as the spirit dimensions. So I'm just curious, Diane, if you've been seeing a lot of hard stuff in the physical world. And there is a lot of hard stuff here, you guys. There is a lot of hard stuff in our physical world. There's also a lot of beautiful stuff. There's also a lot of spirit. There's also a lot of incredible. There's also a lot of healing. So being able to kind of tap into that. Kelsey Arnie, good morning, Lana. Thank you for reading my message. Any message from spirit? Do you have a name for my father? Do you have a name for the father figure around me? See, I don't always get names that come flying out at me, but father figure. So someone like a father, grandfather, father energy. That's kind of how I feel there. I also feel give me a second here, Kelsey. I just got a new spirit guide come in. I also feel that I need to acknowledge your overthinking. I feel like there's been a bit of a shift in that. It feels again with the trust. There's a lot of trust coming up this morning. I feel like you're trusting more, leaning in there more, allowing your own energy to be more of a connection for you. I feel like you're doing a really good job. And I don't and you must need to hear it because it's coming out of my mouth. I feel like that's been a huge part of your personal growth, to be able to trust yourself and to be able to acknowledge yourself and to be able to kind of like march to the beat of your own drum. I feel like I just need to acknowledge job well done there. Our spirit guides do support, and I feel like you're feeling it more, if that makes sense to you there. L Frog 98. This is Aaron. Hi, Aaron. I keep hearing of questions during the week, but then I forget. So do my guides have anything they want me to know? Aaron, interesting part about the forgetting piece, quite often, and this happens to me a lot too, Aaron. Quite often when we forget, it's not unusual what to feel into the spirit guides. It's to feel into spirit and forget the messages, or forget the questions that we have. And the reason for that is you're learning how to adjust yourself between the physical and non-physical worlds. And even for myself, 90, I'm gonna say 98% of all readings and all channeling I do, it doesn't stay, which is why it's important to journal. So in journaling, that your own stuff from your spirit guides. When I channel either in meditation or with automatic writing, I write it down. Why? Because it's gone. It literally leaves. And the reason for that is we're not always using our brain. So when you even get a and you can even channel a question, they can give you something to question. So Aaron, I really feel that if you can, and I think that there's a big piece of this, that you're going to get your own information through writing, through automatic writing. So keep a little notebook in your pocket. Or use your phone to kind of like make a voice note of anything that you pick up. I feel it's more what they want you to know is more of a connection with them. You're connecting more than what you realize. And for so many of us, we don't fully understand that we're connecting with them at high levels and may not even realize it. You're asking, even whether it be through prayer, whether it just be say, hey, can somebody help me with that? With your own thoughts, with growth and shift, like coming here on this channel or other channels, or finding. Have you ever found like a meditation that's kind of landed on your YouTube or on your social media? It's like, oh, all of a sudden that's there, right? Those are all little messages and guidance that help us along the way too. And I don't, I truly feel that most of us connect and don't even realize it. All right, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Um, Joan, any messages for me regarding my grandson? Joan, so a couple things here. Just I wasn't even finished reading that sentence, and I kept seeing the number 4. So I'm curious with the month of April, and I'm also very much aware of my head. I suddenly just kind of like became kind of like foggy in my head or dizzy. So I'm curious what that connection there is, Joan. I also feel such a beautiful energy radiating. I feel like, I feel not that I feel misunderstood, but I just feel like this beautiful energy that's radiating here, and I'm not sure it's being interpreted correctly. So I'm curious if there's been like misunderstanding of this energy or misunderstanding of something. If you can, and I'll watch the comment section there, Joan. Um, and I feel quite light here. I don't feel anything heavy there, Joan, at all. Janine, why does Kit Kat always run off when we try to pet or pick him up? Um, why does Kate run off when we try to pet or pick him up? Janine Rose, I feel like there's it's not so much the pet or picking up. I need a slower pace. First of all, I need a slower pace. I need to go at Kit Kat a little bit slower. And most animals, but Kit Kat is, a little bit higher on the energetic chart here. I feel like, and I don't feel it's just picking up. I also feel it's sudden changes in environment. I feel it can be something outside or noisy. I feel like I'm very, it's almost like things happen on a fast forward. So if you're moving this way, to pick up Kit Kat. It feels like it this way. It feels very fast. Everything feels very fast. I also feel a piece of this, a bit of Kit Kat's humor. I feel like there's like I can hear a bit of a chuckle within them. I feel like it's a bit of a playfulness with as far as a game as well. But I feel for the most part, Kit Kat has this feeling of things are in very fast motion here. Horizon Phoenix. What messages do my spirit guides have for me? Because this past week I felt like I'm running headfirst into someone after getting my son on the school bus. I want to read that again. What messages the spirit guides have for me? Because this past week I felt like I'm running headfirst into someone after getting okay, let's have a sip here. I really feel, Horizon Phoenix, that I need to kind of carve out moment to sit with spirit. I feel like they're asking you, to carve out a time or a space where you can come and just simply be a space where you can come and open up. I feel like they're pulling you into some growth. I feel like they want you to simply breathe. I really feel it's more of a carving out. So I'm curious if everything Horizon Phoenix has been fairly fast paced lately to begin with, because I feel it's like a slow down and come here, slow down and breathe, slow down and sit with us, slow down and open up. If that makes sense. Wesley, any messages for me about moving? Will it happen soon? Wesley, I've always felt that part of what you're learning here with moving is shifting and patience. I feel like sometimes we don't always get our own way, and I feel like this is and I've Wesley, I love you so much. But I feel like this is part of your learning here too. Part of this about moving is also connected to a system, and systems can be very difficult to predict because there's a lot of floating parts in systems. But I feel when I take away the system part and I sit with what am I learning, I feel like I'm learning some patience. I feel like I'm learning to do or see things differently, and I feel like I'm learning that things don't always go. And I know Wesley, I hear you on this one, my friend. Things don't always go the way we want them. So I don't know if there's been a bit of a demanding energy or if you've been slightly demanding. I feel like I've got to just kind of like put that down. Open and trusting the journey. You'll move when the right place, right time opens up. You don't want to move to the wrong place. So, right. So perhaps this is, a bit of a guidance to the right place. The right place is coming. I'm going to trust that I'm being navigated that way. I feel like I got to lean into that, Wes, rather than pushing. I feel like I'm pushing a big, heavy filing cabinet, right? I'm trying to push through it. Just trust it. They're not shifting that at all for me, Wes. Just trust. Um, I feel like I'm losing my gusto for big change. What does that mean? Spirit was holding me back because I'm where I'm supposed to be? Really good question. I don't I don't feel sorry for the cough, guys. I don't feel like you're being held back. I feel like there's more to learn where you're at. And have had this experience many, many times, especially in my mediumship. I want to do this and I really want to do this. I'll use the example because I've shared this quite often. There was a time where I couldn't get past getting two bookings at a time. I really wanted to do three or four. Every time I opened up a third or fourth spots, they either wouldn't go or somebody would cancel. So, and it wasn't that I necessarily wasn't ready. It's that I was still learning how to navigate the energy of two readings. So I had to lean into, okay, what am I learning here? And what I had to realize was they weren't holding me back. They were training me to use a different energy when I read. At that point in time, I was using my own energy. So at the end of two sessions, I was tired. So if I would have done three sessions, I probably would have been wiped. Or the third session, maybe the quality of the connection wouldn't have been as good. And as much as I remember wanting it so bad, I wanted to read full time so bad. And I felt like I was being held back. I wasn't being held back. I was being taught. So it's not about holding back. It's about learning where we're at. So how I kind of look at it, and this is a really, really, really good question. I love this question so much. There's still something left to learn. It doesn't mean it's a failure. It doesn't mean that you're not ready for the next grade. It just means that you're still learning in the space that you're at. Frolic in it. Frolic, and I've asked myself that so many times, why isn't this happening with I want to do this. I really want to do this. And it's like it's not time yet. It's not time yet. It was, it's not that you're not ready. It's that you're still learning. There's something else they want to teach you. There's something else to prepare you. And it's always for your highest good. And when we push against it, we get pushed back. So I'll use, the example with myself again. Felt so ready for 3 or 4 readings or to read full time, and they knew I just wasn't quite there yet. It wasn't a lack of, I was still learning something. So, and yes, I do believe we're always where we're supposed to be. I do keeping an open mindset, keeping a curiosity. I always tell them, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Guide me. I don't push against resistance anymore. I have learned that lesson on watch, rinse, repeat a few times, but pushing, not yet. If I get resistance, I say, okay, I'm really happy where I'm learning right now. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Good. Good. Okay. That was a really good question. Mandy Greenhill. Hi, Mandy Greenhill. Good morning, Lana. Anything from my spirit? New things coming. Okay. Sorry. Anything from spirit. New things coming and finally surgery for hubby. Just waiting. You were right. Fall bound out. It's his back, not hips, but our health system is slow. Our health system is slow. I 100% agree. Mandy, I lost my spot. There you are. Sorry, Mandy. Um, you were right. Fall bound out. It's his back, not his hips. So, Mandy, I want to lean into a few things here. So, yes, the health system is slow. I also feel that that slowness may have a very big purpose. I feel that with that time, they were able to sort out that it's his back, not his hips. And sometimes if things are rushed, some things get overlooked. So I feel like I need to say, while you're waiting, tap into things that you may not have had an opportunity to tap into if you didn't have an opportunity to wait. And waiting is the hardest thing to do. I still struggle with patience. I don't I don't do well with lineups. So what I do is I look at it a different way. Who can I get to know right now in the lineup? Yeah, that's what I do. So I meet new people in lineups or waiting rooms. I also take a look at the slower energy while I'm waiting. It's a good opportunity to kind of connect with each other, to kind of work on some on healing. Working, Mandy, you've got profound healing energy. So, kind of tapping into that a little bit, taking a look at maybe I'll grow my healing energy while we wait. Maybe I'll work on his back a little bit more. I feel a lot of inflammation there, and I'm right around L4 5, Mandy. Again, I'm not a doctor, but kind of if I was to focus on healing there, I'm right around L4 5 in the spine. So that is kind of like a little bit lower. I feel like if you can kind of like I want to shine sunshine energy in there. So I feel like the sunshine to kind of like dry up inflammation, kind of tap into what else can we be doing with the space, Mandy, of that waiting game. I would also send energy to push forward a little bit on the waiting list. Like push forward, sending energy to the surgeon or to, for the right timeline for the surgery. Like can you help me out with the timelines here? I'm going to trust whatever happens, but can you help us out a little bit? Hope you find that helpful. Okay, you guys, it's ticking along here. Hello, I'm so grateful for all you that have tuned in. Um, my voice is starting to fade. I'm supposed to be resting my vocal cords. I have an event on Friday at Hospice of Waterloo. So if you're local, you can check out my website. 100% going to charity. There is also a workshop that is offered on Zoom on my website. It's about grief and the Christmas holidays. If anybody is struggling with navigating through some of that, the details are there. Um, yeah. So there we go. Let's grab an angel number. I'm also looking for Joan. I just want to see if Joan answered me. Okay. Joan did. Sorry, I want to go back for Joan. Worried about his development. Daycare feels he has issues, autism, other developmental issues. Joan, I'm not a doctor, and I know you know that. Um, I don't feel it. Joan, I want you to, to get him in, see a doctor, get an opinion. I don't feel I don't feel that there's a big developmental delay. Kids do things at different paces and at different speeds. I'm not picking that up, but I'm not a doctor. I don't have a specialty in anything like that. When I read that, I don't feel, and I'm going to say this from my heart, I don't feel the people are looking at that with all the information. So, talk to a pediatrician. Um, I don't feel him behind. Right now, when spirit shows me something on my own journey, so I'm gonna share with you what they're showing me. My kiddo was a little bit delayed. A little bit delayed. She didn't walk. She was a little bit old. I think she was like 16 months old when she walked. Um, but it wasn't a delay. Like, I just feel like there's a bit of judgment here. I can't step out of it, and I'm trying to say it very lovingly. I would definitely talk to professionals in that, but I also feel like there's pressure here because this is what I'm feeling. Hurry up and do this. Hurry up and do this. Hurry up and do this. Like as far as little people, like I just feel like there just feels like a pressure here, and I can't pull myself out of it. Um, and when you think about, now I'm going to say this lovingly, because there are people and there are children with developmental issues. I'm not saying that there isn't. But there are times where people just need a little bit extra time to do things, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's an issue. So, Joan, I would go to the route of professionals, pediatrician or I just don't feel that there's an accurate assessment, and I mean that lovingly. I don't feel bad with the daycare. I just feel like I just need a bit more time, right? Like, I just feel like not everybody does everything by a book. Right, I'm trying to be loving. I'm I'm really trying to be loving. Well, there's my Kimmy. My Kimmy's calling me, so I am gonna have to go soon. Okay, Joan, I do mean that lovingly. So, it's not a judgmental thing. That's just how I feel about it. You asked me how I feel. That's how I feel. But again, get your grandson assessed if they have concerns. What do we need to know? Oh, that was quick. 464. Ooh, listen to this. The angels say that you're on the right path and you're reaping the benefits in spiritual and material ways. So keep going. Ooh, I love that. Let's set an intention for some guidance for the week. What do we need to hear? Dolphin. I love dolphins. So magical. All right. Take a few minutes today to meditate while playing one of your favorite pieces of music. Listen more and talk less. Talk less. Yes, I will talk less, especially to the more subtle levels of communication from other people and from the natural world. Wow. Think and behave more lovingly and positively toward that person you're having difficulty with. Smile more at others and notice how they smile back at you. Try dolphin breathing by taking 3 slow, deep breaths each time, exhaling an audible. Then observe how you feel. I love that. I love that. All right, you guys, have a spirit guided day, spirit guided week. I'll see you next Monday. Out of the comfort zone we go. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys. Much love.